Andy Pullitz's Gillingham came within a whisker of last season's playoffs. Likewise, Mel Machin's Bournemouth. This season, they've both got even bigger plans.
Now is the time. What a strike! That is pure quality. What an incredible goal! That's quality, absolute quality. That's a good night.
Mel Machin leads Bournemouth into the Priestfield Stadium. Not the happiest of hunting grounds for them. They've only won one of their last 10 games there. Even so, they're the side, just 4 points off the automatic promotion places, and they have the league's leading scorer, Mark Steen. Live Nationwide League football comes to you tonight from the second division, from the Priestfield Stadium. Gillingham take on AFC Bournemouth, kick-off 7:45. Hello again, and welcome to another episode in the twisting and turning drama, which is the Nationwide League. One of the world's great horse races takes place tomorrow, but there's another desperate scramble for the line taking place in Division 2. And both of tonight's runners are right at the forefront of the chase for a playoff place or even automatic promotion. Here to mark your cards, as ever, ex-Bournemouth stalwart Nigel Spackman and new Chelsea coach Ray Wilkins. Evening, gentlemen. Ray, if I can start with you, I've described it as a horse race. Do you think either of these runners will be up there come the finish?
Well, I think having looked at the league table, Matt, and we'll see that in a second, that both sides have every chance of staying in the playoffs. Here it comes now. I think there's only Wigan and Stoke out of that top six that have any chance, and it really is a slim chance that they've got as well. Wigan have 2 games in hand on the majority, but are still 7 points adrift, so that becomes very difficult for them. So I would say possibly this top six will stay as it is.
What about automatic promotion? Obviously they're hoping for the playoffs, but is automatic promotion a possibility?
I don't really know. I think Bournemouth, for me, are the best footballing side, or one of the best footballing sides, apart from Fulham. I think Fulham are just in a class of their own. I think Bournemouth are the best footballing side, apart from Fulham. They've got every chance, but tonight is a very, very difficult game for them.
OK, let's take a look at the other half of the table, because these teams involved in their own battle, also involved in the battle at the top, because they play everybody else. Some games to look out for this weekend. Northants at home to Luton. Laurie Sanchez's Wickham have to travel to Wrexham, and Oldham at home to Burnley. A word about Bournemouth then, because you know a bit about them, don't you? It's just 30 years ago you played for them, wasn't you?
Maybe 33. No, it's a lovely place to live down in Bournemouth, as everybody will tell you down there, but the club has obviously gone through a very bad period over the last couple of years and nearly went out of existence, and it's great that those supporters in the local community stuck together to put Bournemouth back where they are now, and Mel Machin has done a fantastic job there, and I just hope that Bournemouth get promoted, obviously, and work their way up the leagues, but they most probably need a new ground and maybe a little bit of money around along the way to make themselves push up the leagues, really, because it is a lovely place to live, but obviously you want your football club to do well if you live in that part of the world.
Well, you've been incredibly modest, because we've been on nearly 5 minutes and you haven't mentioned the fact that you were in the side last time they won at the Priestfield, back in 1983, I think it was.
Back in 1983, I can't remember.
I don't know who that is.
Well, I look young there, don't I? Yeah. That was a good little side we had then. David Webb and Harry Redknapp as the coach, and we got promotion that year, I think. It's a good place to play, Gillingham, and I think somebody actually got sent off in the first half for kicking me, actually, Matt.
Somebody kicked you?
Yeah, I was a bit slow in those days.
It's probably your haircut. They probably... Now then, one thing's guaranteed when Gillingham meet Bournemouth, and that's a few goals. In their last 10 league meetings, we've seen nearly 4 goals a game. When they last met at Dean Court back in October, they managed 6 between them. Mark Steen on his way to the top of the leading goal scorers list for Division 2. So far, he's scored 25, another 8, and he'd matched his age and his record tally for a season in a career that started at Luton.
That's when I was starting out my career. My brother was there, great players like Ricky Hill, Mal Donegan, Mick Hartford, Steve Foster, Paul Walsh, and I had a good grounding. David Fleet, I think, and still is one of the most respected people in football. And when I was younger, it was a great education for me. Lou Macari rescued me from Oxford at the time. He saw something in me that I suppose, David Fleet did at when I was a lot younger, and he nurtured that the best football of my career, I suppose, it all went from there really. With having a successful time at Stoke, I got a big money move to Chelsea, where Glenn Hoddle was the manager. We got to the cup final that year, and all of a sudden, Chelsea went from strength to strength. During that season, I got 7 or 8 goals in consecutive games, and I think that's still the Premiership record, and I'm proud of that. People might have thought that I didn't really do that well at Chelsea, but I mean, when I was fit and playing, I think I was the best goal scorer there. I'm 33 now. I was, when I was in Chelsea's reserves, you're not really doing yourself justice, playing with young players every week, and it gets quite disheartening. It just happened last year. The manager rang me up and asked me if I fancied coming to Bournemouth on loan. I could have went to a couple of other clubs, but he guaranteed me first team football, which I was happy about. They were going for the playoffs, which it didn't materialise at the end of the day, and we got to a 3rd and 4th Division Cup final where we got beat by Grimsby, and it all went from there really. It was just unfortunate we didn't get to the playoffs last year. We just missed out. But hopefully this year, I think we've shown that what a really good team we are. We're growing up, together. Obviously, I'm the older statesman, as they would say. I'm 33 now. Hopefully, I can teach the other lads a few things or two, and we're getting on a good run at the moment, and hopefully, we can get to the playoffs or the second spot.
Mark Steen, a major reason why Bournemouth are doing so well this time round. 9th last time. They're on course to do even better this. Bournemouth made a lightning start to the season, and their 3-0 win at home to Millwall in late August made it 3 wins out of 3. That put them 2nd in the table, level on points with Stoke and Fulham. They then stumbled with only 1 win in 5 after that, but victory at Oldham in late September was their 3rd in a row. Goals from Steve Robinson and Mark Steen helped to steady the ship and keep them in the top 4. The Cherries then hit their worst patch of the season, going 6 games without a win. But Mark Steen's goal capped a 5-0 win over Burnley. Even so, that poor run had seen them slide down the table to 9th. December proved to be much more profitable, as they remained unbeaten in the run-up to Christmas. Their win at home to Luton was their 6th in a row, and enough to earn manager Mel Machin Manager of the Month. A win and a draw in mid-January was then followed by victory over Preston. John O'Neill setting them on their way to a comfortable win. A draw at Luton was followed by an impressive win over early pace-setter Stoke. Steve Fletcher with a brace as Mel Machin's men showed they're more than capable of beating the top sides by putting 4 past Brian Little's outfit. One defeat in 6 was then followed by defeat at home to Reading, putting an end to the longest unbeaten home record in the Nationwide League, stretching back a whole year. Bournemouth then recorded their 2nd victory over Preston a week later. Steve Fletcher with the winner to keep them up with the chasing group. And at that stage, they were 4th. They slipped up, though, last weekend when they were beaten by struggling Northampton. Steve Robinson did put Bournemouth in front, though. But goals from Christian Lee and Carlo Corazan before half-time meant the Cherries went home empty-handed. But they were back on course in midweek. Mark Steen's 15th league goal of the season, ensuring victory over Macclesfield. And Mel Machin will know he needs more of the same if he's to steer his side into Division 1. Well, as the little red line shows, after a bright start of the season, Bournemouth plummeted to 11th in mid-November. But since then, things have improved. They're now up to 4th, 2 ahead of their hosts. Well, they've won 20, drawn 10 and lost 9 so far this season, but already they've amassed more points than they did all last season. Earlier this week, the Bournemouth manager, former Gillingham and Cherries player Mel Machin, spoke to Alan Bentley.
Mel, you're in the middle of this marvellous season, but sometimes you sort of pinch yourself as to the fact that you're simply here at all.
Yes, 2 years ago we had certainly a very difficult time, but that's put by us now, and I think you know, we've come a long way. We had our Wembley trip last in the auto class, which was very nice. It would have been nice to win it, mind you, but it was a good experience, considering that 10 minutes away from, you know, not being here. Lads have gone through a lot, as you can imagine. I've been here 4 years now, and the majority of the boys have been here with me. And I think it's certainly, you know, from a player's point of view, individuals, it certainly made them grow up pretty quick.
If we take you back to those dark days of early '97, was there a time when you thought yourself, I've had enough, I'm packing it in?
No, not at all. You know, I knew tradition here that, I mean, I played here something like, what, 20 years ago. And I know the passion of, you know, the supporters down here. I know that, you know, what they look for in a team. And I felt that, you know, a club like Bournemouth in itself, you know, through the tradition too, good players that have been around. You know, the latest one, I suppose, is Jamie Redknapp. So, yeah, I think I did everything in my power anyway, as much as I could. I even put money into the football club along with businessmen, and it's surviving. And we've just had to sell a player, which is a difficult time, but we sold one player, and we should be okay now for, you know, a few years.
They talked about and touched on the marvellous run you had last season, Wembley and the like, but you've managed to build on that again this term, haven't you? Well,
that's right. Each year we've there's always a site. I mean, we finished with 66 points last year. 70 points, I think, got in the playoffs. So we said, like, 66. If we better 66 this year, we've got a chance of getting in the playoffs. But it's progress again, and you know, we're on the right lines. And the fact is that we're in a playoff position now. I think it's something 9 points from our 7th position team in the league. You know, it gives us a little bit of a cushion, 7 games to go.
But is automatic promotion still the goal?
Well, again, it's something which Gillingham we've got Friday evening. Then we've got Walsall on Tuesday night. Let's see what results come out of there. If, you know, we come undefeated, then it's a possibility, because, you know, then we've got quite a decent run in.
It's amazing that he's talking, Nigel, about automatic promotion or even a playoff place when you consider the position they were in not much more than 2 years ago.
Yes, going out of business, as he said. No money to spend on players, and just motivating the players you've got there. And he's recently had to sell Jamie Vincent to Huddersfield for $500,000 to keep the club going. So, you know, it's been hard times there, but they're still doing well. They've still got a decent side, and if they can get a good result tonight and then another one against Walsall on Tuesday evening, I think it is, then they could get the automatic promotion.
Well, let's have a look at all of their run-in. Mel says it's not too bad. I imagine that the next match is pretty bad.
Yeah, Walsall, a very good side. They're second in the table at the moment. They've played less games, but if Bournemouth can win tonight and then beat Walsall, then it leaves it wide open. But the other clubs there, I mean, Chesterfield are just outside, maybe aren't quite going to make the playoffs. Burnley are fighting for their lives at the bottom. York are down there fighting for their lives, so are Colchester. There's no easy games. It looks an easy run-in on paper, but it never works out that way when you get on a football field.
We love working out on paper, don't we, Ray? But is there any real point?
No, none whatsoever. No, they're tough games. Any game you play, Matt, in whatever division you're playing in, becomes a really tough encounter. And that's no different to the games that Bournemouth have. But I definitely think they've got the quality. They've got a lot of young blokes as well. A lot of young blokes. And then all of a sudden you get a Mark Steen of 33 coming into the equation. But they've always had lots of young men play for them, and they're doing exceptionally well. They're a very good side.
OK, Alan Bentley is standing by. He has the team news.
Yes, I do indeed, Matt, and if I can, I'm going to get straight on with it. So here we go then with Gillingham. And we've got a couple of ex-Bournemouth players in there. That's keeper Vince Bartram and number 6, Adrian Pennock. Bartram, of course, once of Arsenal too. The two players, though, I want to highlight, undoubtedly 9, Carl Asaba, and 11, Robert Taylor. Now, Asaba, once of Brentford, he's the club's record signing at £600,000 when he came from Reading. 20 goals for him so far this season, another 5 for his best ever haul, and he has scored in the last 2, I can tell you. He was alongside Taylor in his Brentford days. As for Taylor, he cost £500,000, 16 for him this season, including all 5, as we can see, at Burnley, equaling the record for this division and setting a club record. Indeed, this was the club's biggest away win. Mind you, no goals in his last 5. He'll be looking to put that right tonight. Finished with them. Let's have a look then over at Bournemouth and keep an eye on number 4, Eddie Howe, the latest from the conveyor belt of talent, selected recently for the nationwide select team that went to Italy. Now, he's alongside number 7, Ian Cox. Forget numbers, at the heart of the defence. Cox has played in 124 consecutive games for the club, and he's a useful goal scorer too, 6 so far this term. Watch out for him at set pieces. But no doubt the main threat comes from number 9, Mark Steen. We've just heard from him, now aged 33, 25 in all competitions this season. This is his 8th club, including 5 years at Stamford Bridge and Chelsea. His goal against Macclesfield the other night was his first in 7, a real late winner, that one. That's about it from down here, Matt. Back to you in the studio.
Alan, thanks very much. After the break, we turn our attention to Gillingham and one of the main reasons for their position amongst this year's contenders. Carl Asaba is one of the nationwide's most consistent scorers. At £600,000, he's their record signing. And with 19 goals so far this season, he's well on the way to paying them back. Live Spanish football coming up for you tomorrow night here on Sky Sports. At 8 o'clock on Sky Sports 1, it's Tenerife against Barcelona. That's Spanish football from 8 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. Right now, it's live nationwide football we're concentrating on. From the top of Division 2, it's Gillingham versus Bournemouth from the Priestfield Stadium. Kick-off 7:45. OK, head-to-head, they play 75 times. You can see, you can read all of that, but it's really Gillingham who've had the edge of late. As we mentioned earlier, but because he's here, we'll mention it again. March 1983 was the last time Bournemouth got a result here. Nigel Spackman was in the team. And here are the odds. If you fancy a punt, 6-5 on Gillingham, the out-and-out favourites. 11-4, Bournemouth 9-4, the draw. How about the first to score? Carl Asaba is 4-1 favourite. And he's a favourite with the crowd too. Signing a few autographs. Just a few. Well, Gillingham broke their transfer record to bring Carl Asaba to the Priestfield Stadium from Reading just after the start of the season for £600,000. He's been on target 19 times for them since and is enjoying one of its best seasons in a mixed career.
I was good at Dulwich. I played there a while. I was at university at the time. It helped supplement my income. I only played 10 games for them, and in the pre-season the following year, Dave Webb snapped me up. Brentford was brilliant. I started my career there. First 2 seasons I was just like a YT really, an older YT, because I came into the game so late at 21. First 2 years I watched a lot from the stands, just doing a lot of pie eating, and then thankfully the 3rd year I progressed to the first team and scored 24 goals for them. We worked very hard all through the season, and unfortunately come mid-April everything fell to pieces, and we just didn't make make enough points for the automatic place. We did well against Bristol City, got to the final, and then we just threw it away. That's definitely my worst moment in football so far, because we worked so hard all through the season, and then in the match that really mattered, we just didn't perform. I just remember playing midfield, being a striker. You don't look forward to playing out of position, and for the biggest match of my season, my career to date, I was out of position. So it upsets me still to think back, because I was playing against some very good Crewe midfielders who've gone on. One of them's gone to Liverpool, the other one's gone to Bradford, and they made me look pretty average. I think it's definitely the most one-sided 1-0 ever seen at Wembley, but you know, we've all bounced back and we're working hard now individually. It came out of the blue really to Reading. I didn't know they were very interested in me, but I moved for a record fee. The move didn't go well. The team didn't do well. I subsequently didn't do well. And with the change of manager, I found myself moving on again. I've enjoyed myself unbelievably. The boys are brilliant. The management have just been different class. They've worked so hard on me, and I think at the moment I've got 20 goals and I look like I can score a lot more. The manager's brilliant. His man management skills are just second to none. He gets the best out of all the boys. Treats us all differently. Some of us need a little cuddle, some of us need a shout, and he knows who to push and who to cuddle. So we all get on well here. The boys are brilliant. There's some players around who should be playing in a higher level. Everyone works 100%, and it's really good spirit here. I've done quite well against Bournemouth in the past. I've scored, I think, 4 or 5 goals against them. But as long as we come away victorious tomorrow, that's the main thing, because we've got to start pushing the last 6 matches to try and get that second place. And tomorrow night is a big step in the right direction if we can win.
I suppose if you're a manager, Ray, you look for consistency with all your players, especially your strikers, and I think Asaba delivers, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's got 19 for them, and you mustn't forget the 1 he got for Reading, so he's got 20 this season. But you've only got to look at him. He's got pace and power, and at this level, it really does frighten the life out of defenders. We saw in a number of clips the goals he scored, especially the one against Bournemouth, where he showed his power and his pace. I took him past defenders, and he's a good finisher. So, and he's scored goals at Brentford as well. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for him at Reading, but he seems a pretty level-headed chap, and he works very hard at his game.
Well, we're hoping for goals tonight, and obviously we're hoping to get some from that young man, another young man, and he's still young by my standards and yours, Mark Steen.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I played with Steeno at QPR and at Chelsea, and he got frozen out really, but when Ruud took over at Chelsea and went on loan to Ipswich, and he went on loan to Bournemouth, where he obviously signed at the end of last season, beginning of this, and he's done extremely well there. He's always likely to score goals, Steeno, and he's a good lad in the dressing room. He does like a moan-up, as most strikers do, but he finds the back of the net, and I mean, 25 goals this season is some feat. And as you said, if he scores a few more, it'll be his record season.
At the grand old age of 33. Now, what about Ian Cox, Ray? Because when you knew him, he was playing in a totally different position.
Yes, he was. He was a wide right midfield player, was Ian, when I was with him at Crystal Palace, and it wasn't quite working out for him there, but Mel obviously saw something in him as a centre-half, and he really has done exceptionally well. He's had a lot of people look at him for well over £1 million. Only 2 years ago, he was the club's top goal scorer. He's now the club captain of the club. Very quiet guy, smashing fella, and it's really nice to see him doing so well. And he really has been one of the mainstays. They're not the biggest side in the world, Bournemouth, but he leaps very well, and he plays at the back there with Eddie Howe, and they've got a good understanding, the two of them, and I'm pleased for him. He's done exceptionally well for himself.
It's nice to have one top striker, but when you've got two, and I'm talking about Robert Taylor, you must be pretty happy.
Well, it's the old Brentford strike force, really. Rob Taylor's done extremely well. 500,000 record signing. You know, him and Asaba up front, I mean, they are lethal. And I think they've scored, what, 36 goals between them this season, which is great. So Bournemouth are going to have their hands full tonight. But that feat against Burnley, it was the 5 goals. I mean, wonderful, scoring with his head, scoring with his feet. You know, he's an all-round player, and a penalty in there as well. So Bournemouth are going to have to watch him tonight. But it's a good partnership.
Well, Gillingham were promoted 3 years ago and missed out on the playoffs last season, only on goals scored under Tony Pulis. The Gills have maintained their upward curve, and they're on course to at least make the playoffs this time round. Gillingham were very sluggish out of the starting blocks this season, winning only one league game out of their first 8. But it was a convincing 4-0 win over Wrexham. Andy Hessenthaler doubling up with a little help from above as the Gills began to make amends for their inauspicious start. But then went on a run of 17 league games without defeat, their best unbeaten run in the league for 25 years. A 2-1 win over Oldham saw them climb to 5th in the table, a far cry from their 22nd spot 2 weeks into the season. A last-gasp Robert Taylor header against now runaway leaders Fulham earned them maximum points. And 3 weeks later, Carla Saba found top gear, driving a hat-trick past Notts County in their 4-0 thrashing of the Magpies. Losing away to fellow promotion rivals Walsall ended their fairy tale run, but 4 wins in 5 followed. Paul Smith's strike embarrassing Northampton keeper Billy Turley, helping the Gills jump to 4th in the table, their highest position all season. Robert Taylor then grabbed all the headlines. This cracker is first of 5 against Burnley, equaling the all-time scoring record. It was Gillingham's biggest ever away win. A single point from 9 was all they could then muster, so a comfortable 4-0 home victory over Lincoln was welcome relief. Andy Hessenthaler enjoying his best scoring season ever, and Kevin Lisby on loan from Charlton causing double trouble, both bagging a brace. Gillingham made April Fools out of Reading, top scorer Carla Saba's 64th minute goal deciding the tie. And last time out, Barry Ashby notched his first goal for the club with this looping header before a Saba pounced for his 20th of the season to worsen Wycombe's relegation worries. With Gillingham unbeaten in their last 15 home league games and third only to Fulham and Preston in the scoring stakes, Bournemouth have it all to do against Tony Pullis's men in this playoff clash. Well, let's put a graph on Gillingham, and it makes fairly simple reading. A terrible start, but a great recovery. And if you take a look at these stats, you can see what Bournemouth are up against. They're unbeaten, Gillingham, in their last 15 at home. Reason for pride for Mr. Pullis. He's now with Alan Bentley.
Tony, first of all, how do you assess the race for promotion at the moment? Well, people look at the table and think that the top 6 are set, but I think you know, there's 3 or 4 teams under us who could, if they put a run together, could easily get in. Wigan have got games in hand, Stoke have got games in hand. They're 2 clubs who have got a lot of potential and have got big squads. So they could definitely put runs together and knock anyone out of the 4 places or 5 places that people are still vying for.
Of course, Bournemouth are one of those clubs. This is a big game tonight, isn't it?
Yes, it's a good game. It's a great game for us. You know, we've come a long way in the 3.5 years I've been at the football club, and for us to be even in this position is nothing short of a miracle. So we should enjoy it. We should be enjoying these games, and you know, I'll say to the players now, make sure there's no nerves. Just get out there and show people what they can do.
What about you as an ex-Bournemouth manager? Are you looking forward to it? There was that touchline incident the last game. Yeah, that was interesting. No, I just want to win the game. I was at Bournemouth for 10 years, had a great time. They got promoted when Harry was manager, coached and then managed the team. So I've got 10 years and really enjoyed it there. But that was 5 years ago. You know, I'm now Gillingham through and through, and I want to win the game for Gillingham Football Club. Thanks a lot, Tony.
Okay, cheers. Thank you.
The atmosphere building nicely at the Priestfield Stadium. I'm told that the Gillingham chairman, Paul Scally, believes that when the Channel Tunnel is properly up and running and everybody accepts it as the norm, he's going to be accommodating Belgian and French supporters here for Gillingham home games. He also reckons that if we win the World Cup in 2006, that the Priestfield Stadium will host World Cup games. Raymond, I won't ask you your opinion on that, but I'll tell you what, we should look at the games left to play for Gillingham, because if we thought Bournemouth were fairly easy, if there's such a thing, these ain't.
They've got 3 humdingers, haven't they? They've got this one tonight, then they go away to Fulham, which will be very, very tough indeed, and then home against Manchester City. And then, obviously, in come Oldham as well in that equation, who are fighting for their lives. That's away from home. They'll probably be on a very bumpy surface up there at Oldham. Stoke City, Notts County, all tough games. Wrexham in there as well. But at this stage of the season, mate, everyone's a cup final for them, and they've got a very, I think personally, they've got a tough run.
Everyone is a cup final. It's certainly the best end, isn't it? OK, kick-off of tonight's live Division 2 game between Gillingham and Bournemouth is fast approaching. Just before we join our commentators, let's get all the day's sports headlines from Julian Waters, who joins us now from the Sky Sports newsroom.
Welcome to the Sky Sports Dome. Here are the main sporting headlines. The government have blocked B Sky B's £623 million bid to buy Manchester United after acting on the recommendation of the Monopolies and Mergers Commission. Another media organisation, NTL, have had their bid for Newcastle referred to the MMC. Robbie Fowler has been banned for 6 matches and fined £32,000 for his goal celebrations against Everton and is bussed up with Graham Lasseau. The Chelsea defender was banned for 1 match and fined £5,000 for his part in the Stamford Bridge incident. And Prince Nassim Hamed has weighed in dead on the featherweight limit at 9 stone for tomorrow's WBO title defence. Paul Ingle weighed in at 8 stone 13.5 pounds.
Thanks, Julian. Don't forget, Sky Sports News is now available on Sky Digital 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And just as they thought they were going to get away with it, their heads are on the block, chaps. Nigel first, who's going to win?
Well, I hope my side, Bournemouth, my old side, Bournemouth do, but I'm going to go for the draw.
3-3 would be nice, wouldn't it?
3-3 would be very nice. We'd do some goals.
Right.
Well, I'm going to stick my neck out and say that if Bournemouth can hold out for the initial period of the game, I'm going to take Bournemouth to win.
OK, let's join our commentators right now, Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
And the clash of promotion rivals brings together 2 managers who've played for both clubs, but it's hardly a meeting of minds. Tony Pulis was involved in a touchline clash with his successor at Bournemouth, Mel Machin, when the sides drew 3-3 at Dean Court in October, and the difference in their approach to the promotion task is stark. Pulis has gone for characters who've performed successfully at this level before. In goalkeeper Vince Bartram and number 6 Adrian Pennick, Pulis is working again with a pair that gave him good service at Bournemouth. He's also got 4 members of the side that took Brentford to the brink of Division 1 in David Webb's era. They're number 3 Barry Ashby and number 4 Paul Smith. And the strike partnership reformed from their days at Griffin Park together. Carla Saba, who's recently been linked with Derby, and Robert Taylor.
Yeah, it's a game I just feel Gillingham can't afford to lose tonight, Rob. Wing-back situation. Formation, Bartram and goal, Ashby, Pennock and Guy Butters on the left-hand side. Southall in front, on the left, on the right, Patterson. The 3 in the midfield, Smith, Hessenthaler and Saunders. Hessenthaler has been in outstanding form, having a great season. Might just play off the front too, Andy Hessenthaler. But up front, great pairing, 36 goals between them. Taylor with 5 against Burnley, and Carla Sabu, I think, has just got a little touch of class at this level.
Well, Mel Machin has tried to build his Bournemouth side around the best youngsters caught up in the logjam for places at Premiership clubs. Number 2, Neil Young, and number 8, Steve Robinson, were both in the queue at Tottenham. Number 6, Mark Rawlinson, never made the breakthrough at Manchester United. And Richard Hughes, who wears 11, cost a nominal sum from Arsenal. Another recent signing from the Gunners, Willie Huck, is out tonight with an ankle injury. The average age of this team is 24, despite the presence of 33-year-old Mark Steen, whose 25 goals this season speak for themselves.
As you say, Rob, a young side, same formation, wing-backs for Bournemouth, but they've got a poor record versus Gillingham of late Mel Machin's side. Ovendale in goal, Young, Cox and the highly rated Howe. In front of Howe, Warren left-hand side, Hayter down the right, and the midfield 3, Hughes, Rawlinson central midfield, Robinson left, and up front, as you say, the veteran Steen still lively, and alongside Steen, Steve Fletcher.
Well, Gillingham's chairman Paul Scally was telling me before the kick-off that he's just back from Dubai visiting the Al Shafar family, so I don't know if he's planning to extend the Channel Tunnel that far and get supporters from that sort of distance. But whatever, there are big plans here at Priestfield to knock down a couple of sides of this ground and rebuild a stadium that, of course, at the moment they currently share with Brighton and Hove Albion. So the pitch here is in constant use.
We haven't had so many goals in the last few games of our draw, but I just feel we're in for maybe a goal treat tonight. It's going to be an exciting match. Good crowd here at Priestfield. Pitch is looks a little bit bumpy in place, a little bit bare, but it's wide on the flanks, and I think that it may just suit Bournemouth, you know, with the football. But Gillingham, especially with Hessenthaler, Asaba and Taylor, I think it's going to be some game.
Well, everyone who's in the second division seems to accept the fact that Fulham are home and dry. The battle is very much on for second place, with 6 points separating the teams in second and sixth. Gillingham currently occupies sixth. They're coming out closer to the camera. Guy Butters just going through there. Bournemouth on the far side as we look. Carla Saba, Barry Ashby, two of the former Brentford players in the Gillingham ranks. So the stage is set here at Priestfield for a vital clash between two rivals in the playoff area, but with loftier aspirations to maybe follow Fulham up automatically. Who will go closer to that aim here tonight? Find out after the break as we bring you Gillingham against Bournemouth.
Welcome back, and here we go. It's Gillingham versus Bournemouth. Your commentators, Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
And it's Bournemouth who are in their normal strip, red and black stripes, who are going to get the game underway. Steve Robinson, number 8, with his back to the ball, facing Mark Steen, who's had such an outstanding season, although he'd been going through a bit of a famine before the goal that won the midweek match against Macclesfield. This will be a keenly contested battle, though, of promotion rivals, and Gillingham will go above their opponents tonight if they can secure 3 points here. Header away there is by Ashby. And knocked down the line by Patterson. Richard Hughes conceding the throw-in. This is Bob Taylor. And already Gillingham have won the first corner of the match. Taylor, the man who had that historic contribution in the victory at Burnley when he scored all 5 of their goals. Ashby's gone forward for the corner. Smith just waiting at the edge. Nicky Southall, the corner taker. And headed away by James Hayter, who's actually celebrating his 20th birthday today. This is Hesenthaler.
Gillingham, like Ray was saying earlier, the first 15-20 minutes are going to try and put this Bournemouth side under intense pressure, hoping for an early breakthrough.
Krista Warren, the man taking the throw-in, just has some slight bandaging on his right hand, having injured a tendon. Been in the wars a bit of late. He's also got 5 stitches in an eye wound. And it was Warren himself dishing out the treatment there that's led to this free kick, which has been taken and finds Smith. Paul Smith lining one up.
Not bad. He doesn't quite catch it right on his right foot. Found himself a little bit of space. Just a little dummy there on Hayter on the right foot, 25 yards out, and dragging it wide.
He cost £195,000 from Brentford, did Paul Smith, but he really is Mr. Consistency. He's only missed a single league game in his 2 seasons with the club. One of those men that Tony Pulis knows he can rely upon. From Neil Young. Flick on is by Fletcher to Steen. This is Cox. Looking perhaps for Krista Warren, and Warren has managed to outmuscle Patterson, but not Ashby. Cleared in the end by Pennick. This is Taylor.
You see 2 Bournemouth players keeping a close eye on Asaba. Certainly has got a lot to his game. Pacey, strong, good touch, and can finish.
As he's proved in each of the last 2 matches, Carla Saba. But Mark Steen is the 2nd Division's hot shot with those 25 goals, 15 of them in the league. But he's the third best scorer in the country at the moment. Only Lee Hughes and Dwight York have scored more. Vince Bartram's free kick for Gillingham. Header away by Howe. This is Smith. Smith has Hayter battling away, but Cox it is who gets there.
He's certainly doing well early on, Paul Smith, surging runs.
Southall, where's two, playing on the left side. We might see he and Patterson switch over at various stages during the contest, though. He's taken another quick throw to Taylor. And a long way back towards Mark Patterson. Smith. This is Ashby. Hessenthaler coming deep to claim it and then finding the space for the cross. Good battling by Patterson. Howe had to judge that just right. And Rawlinson just ushers it away to Neil Young.
Yeah, that's good pressure from the home side. In fact, Richard Hughes, number 11, he's having to get back for Bournemouth to really help his centre-halves out at the moment. Any possible threat, Hughes is getting back in and amongst the centre-halves.
Here's Taylor. Steve. Robinson. Now Richard Hughes. Krista Warren. Robinson, Hayter, Steen and Fletcher all to his right. Warren in the end has taken it too far, shown too much of it to Ashby. Good follow-up though from Howe. Here's Hayter and here's Steen. Good intervention from Pennick. Timed the challenge magnificently.
Yeah, he had to Steen. That's where he's so sharp, makes little darting runs.
Well, Steen managed to evade the offside flag the first time, but not the second time.
Well, they almost got through there. Pennick, it was a great stop.
Here's Young. Crosses towards Fletcher.
Yeah, the arms were up. Can't get away with that, it's blatant. Good ball from Young, but Fletcher clearly climbing on the centre half.
Well, a victory for Bournemouth will leave their position unchanged, but will put them level on points with Preston, who are currently lying third in the table. They've had an edgy spell of late of Bournemouth. It was a hard-earned victory for them against Macclesfield in midweek, and there were a lot of indifferent performances. The tension of this stage of the season creeping in. Hessenthaler getting it forward.
He's just caught Hessenthaler. Looks to be struggling a little bit, trying to just release Asaba. This would be a blow for Gillingham. Hessenthaler lying in agony. So he's so good, rushing through. Just caught. There was two players having a little go on Hughes. I don't think it's Hughes that catches him. You see, he's always getting back, isn't he? Rawlinson, the one with the challenge, but Hughes is really trying to help out the three centre-backs, Young, Cox and Howe.
And Mark Rawlinson being spoken to by the referee.
Bob Taylor, I just wonder if he fancies one here.
Well, a lot of Taylor's goals come from distance and can be quite spectacular.
I think we see a centre forward out the box, Rob. There's a good chance he's going to strike this.
Guy Butters then there, perhaps just to try and fool them.
Pennick's causing a lot of problems in the wall. Bargy.
It's Taylor. And the wall did its job. Held firm despite the distractions. Taylor, here's Hessenthaler. A Rob Taylor's only scored once in the 6 matches since his 5-goal solo show against Burnley. And that was in the next game against Preston, a 1-1 draw at Priestfield. Here's Howe. Hayter, Cox. Fletcher. Strong player, Steve Fletcher. Southall with the throw. Cox meeting it. Here's Robinson. Now Warren. And he's got past Patterson well. Ashby's the covering player. Did very well though, did Krista Warren.
He likes to venture down the left-hand side. There was a little bit of space from there until Big Ashby come out of the box.
He's been playing in a very unfamiliar role as Warren, as left back in what has normally been a flat back 4 since the departure of Jamie Vincent. But they've changed the formation against Gillingham here tonight to try and get through this midfield, and Warren in a wing-back's role. He's the sort of utility player that any squad would welcome. Taylor just beaten to it by Hayter. Cox.
Still having a fairly quiet start for Vince Bartram. Nothing to do as yet.
Well, both teams have won 3 of their last 4 matches coming into this contest. Saba giving away the free kick. Long time since Gillingham lost here. They haven't been beaten here in 16 home matches back on the 8th of September when Northampton were 3-2 victors. Cleared by Southall. Barry Ashby, the man getting it away.
That's what you call no-nonsense defending, eh? No chances, whack, out you go. It's a lovely night down here, but I'm sure summer's not quite here just yet.
Here's Robinson. This one his second cap for Northern Ireland, making his competitive debut in the match against Moldova, Steve Robinson. Saunders with the throw. Taylor. Held forward by Hughes.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. Kelly centre-half's keeper's ball.
Taylor. There's Cox. The 2 teams cancelling each other out at the moment. Here's Hessenthaler. Taylor. Cut out by Jamie Hayter. This is Howe. Young. Now forced to concede the throw, not too much on for him as Asaba was harrying.
Yeah, I think Young gave him a hard ball. That was good forward play there from Asaba, but Howe had no option there.
Southall. In from Butters. Helped on towards Asaba, and Cox. His judgment spot on.
Yeah, good understanding there between Cox and Ovendale. He knew exactly where the threat was. A good shout from the keeper.
It's a new goalkeeper between the sticks for Bournemouth this season since the departure of Jimmy Glass to Swindon, the man who was in goal for them for their Wembley visit last year when they lost the Auto Windscreen Shield final.
Oh, what a challenge that was.
Steve Robinson trying to run the midfield. The man who scored Bournemouth's goal at Wembley, John Bailey, is currently on the sidelines through injury. He's a key loss for them. He's been struggling with a back problem. Here's Eddie Howe. Steen. Hesenthaler challenging. Here's Smith. Now Taylor. Hesenthaler going through the middle. He looked long though for Asaba.
Asaba had really split wide there. He was almost like a left wigger, hugging the touchline, and Taylor was just in too much of a rush to get on the ball.
Well, it was a seesaw match between the teams at Dean Court in October. Bournemouth 2-1 up at one stage and 3-2 down before Mark Steen's late equaliser. Little to choose between them so far in the opening 15 minutes of this contest.
So they'll just get a little ticking off there, a little bit late, no damage done. And Neil Young.
Here's Steen. Turned well, and it was dipping, but not quickly enough.
He does turn well, little Mark Steen on his left foot. And Bartram sort of nonchalantly just looked at it, knowing it was going a couple of yards over. Good little spin though, on the left peg, and just let him fly.
Around a while now as Mark Steen. It was 15 years last Wednesday since he's made his league debut for Luton. And now some 8 clubs down the line. Seems to be enjoying life on the south coast after his surprise free transfer move from Chelsea last season, for which he apparently had to take quite a drastic wage cut. Here's Southall with the throw. Hayter. Steen. This is Guy Butters. And not caught out by it, and Taylor's arm was raised. Handball.
Yeah, it was his left arm. It was up. Awkward ball here for how to deal with it. We can see Taylor. Look at the left arm. Certainly a free kick.
Well, Taylor was part of the Brentford team that was relegated from this division last season. Looking for a happier end to this campaign. And certainly whatever happens from here, it's a great credit to these two teams that they've been involved in the promotion area for so long. It's not that long ago since both these teams were in receivership. Gillingham 4 years ago, Bournemouth even more recently than that, just 2¼ years ago when they called the receivers in. And yet both teams have battled back from the brink. Here's Mark Steen. Young, and a good cross towards Robinson, and he got the touch and the goal.
That's a good patient build-up, Rob. I thought Steen was going to put it in the box earlier for Fletcher, who was lurking at the far post. But this is good play. He's got bodies in the box, and I thought he was going to do it there. Takes his time, lays it back. It's a good ball in, but what a lovely little touch into the far corner. Super start from Bournemouth. Good ball, deft little flick, nestles in the bottom corner, and that's really stunned the home supporters. Smashing build-up, lovely finish.
Well, Steve Robinson applying that polished touch to finish off a lovely move. And Bournemouth have made a good start to this contest. Here's Hesenthaler trying to bring Gillingham back into it. Crosses to Taylor, and Asaba challenges! And into the side netting it goes.
Yeah, offside flag, I think, was up, Rob. And that's where the big fella, Robert Taylor, so handy. You know, it's a good bouncing back. You can see Taylor times his header well. And you can see Asaba running from deep. And perhaps, well, very, very tight.
Front two again showing their good understanding, but it needs something special now from Gillingham. After a beautifully crafted goal, If anything underlines just how far Bournemouth have come from the despair of a couple of years ago, it was the signing of Mark Stein, and he was involved at the heart of it, although it was Young's cross that was so magnificently executed by the header Robinson. And they're moving well, Bournemouth. They're looking for Fletcher here. Trying to help it back across to Hayter. And Robinson, the goal scorer, takes over. Southall going with him.
Since was when they get it wide, Rob. Bournemouth are obviously looking for Fletcher, the target man. He's just trying to feed off them, Robinson. And at the other end, Taylor's the target man, trying to just find his strike partner, Asaba. Tyler 10 yards away from the ref, going in with the elbow. No complaints there, doesn't like the decision. That's surely a free kick.
Here's Cox. Hughes. He's found his way through to Fletcher, who tried to feed Steen. Pennick tidies up.
Ashby got sucked in there. Ended up in no man's land.
Taylor. Southall. Foul by Howe.
Oh, you have to say it's a free kick. Again, Howe doesn't like it, but look at his arm. You see he's right round. That's a free kick. Hessenthaler again in the wars.
Well, they've brought everyone back to deal with this free kick. Plenty of red shirts. Southall's delivery, a disappointing one.
Yeah, much too close to the goalkeeper.
Mark Ovendale, who came in last season, although he wasn't able to play last year as part of the agreement with his former club, the League of Wales side Barry Town. He actually had European experience, the goalkeeper.
Hitting it at the back of the net.
Steen. Hughes. This is Smith. Taylor has done well to keep that in. He's beyond Hughes. Asaba and Hessenthaler charge towards the box. That's Howe.
Howe's doing well back there defending, isn't he? Took up another good position. Good refereeing as well, allowing advantage.
This is Warren. Good, snappy, tenacious play from Hessenthaler. Managed to dispossess Rawlinson. This is Patterson. Smith. A team, Gillingham, that you can never really write off. They've got a lot of spirit. This is Asaba. This is Saunders, looking for Taylor.
He's touched that one down, just a vital moment there, big Robert Taylor.
And Ashby giving away the free kick after a good little spell of pressure for the home team.
Yeah, they're flinging the ball in the box well, aren't they? There's a couple of passes in the box. I think Bournemouth perhaps are a little bit more patient with the build-ups. What a beautiful build-up this was for the goal. Steen doing ever so well, holding it. Had a chance to put it in there, decided to come back. It's a lovely flighted ball in, and Robinson's just ghosted in. Beautiful little flick.
His 50th goal for Bournemouth and his 16th of the season for Steve Robinson. Steen. Here's Ian Cox. Peter coming short. Saba. Smith. Southall.
A little bit late again. That's his second one. I'm sure now Young's going to be in trouble. Just a little bit late again. The Bournemouth are closing down ever so quick, Rob. Nice passing movement. It just tempts him there. In goes Young. I think it doesn't look too bad from that angle, but you can see the referee's handle is placed.
The first yellow card produced in this match by Andy Hall. Ashby. Here's Taylor. Essenthaler having to try and get away from Rawlinson. This is Patterson. Essenthaler again. Smith is to his left.
Busy little player, Andy Essenthaler. Loads full of endeavour. Just looks as if he's struggling a wee bit there from that earlier than maybe not he took.
There's a heavy impact on the ball after the challenge by Mark Rawlinson. And Patterson's cross in towards Smith. Southall! And it wouldn't break for Asaba. Good control defending by Cox.
Yeah, that could have gone anywhere. Cox's first touch was excellent.
Guy Butters. Looking for Essenthaler with a hopeful one. And Ovendale has come a long way.
Very confident goalkeeping as well. Didn't panic, just took his time. Yeah, he was the favourite.
Jamie Hayter. This is Rawlinson. Howe. Off Ashby's head, this is Mark Steen. Cleared by Mark Saunders.
He's just trying to find Robinson again. He keeps stealing in. Late runs Robinson.
Rawlinson placed for Mark Steen.
And again on his left foot. Steen himself, get your head down. I'm pretty certain Mel Machin will be delighted with his start.
Well, it's 5 years now since he succeeded Tony Pulis as the manager of Bournemouth. And this will be the closest they've got to promotion, even if they don't go the whole hog and complete the task they set themselves when the club was saved with phenomenal community support, when they really were on the brink of going under. And they, like Gillingham, have ambitious plans for their stadium. They're planning to rebuild the whole lot on their current site.
Bournemouth again, just taking the sting out of things, aren't they? Just knocking about, keeping possession, good movement.
Taylor quickly going in to close down the goalkeeper.
You see possession-wise, Bournemouth certainly have the upper hand. Good passing, good movement. As Gillingham are trying to force them into mistakes, but at the moment, it's the visitors who are doing extremely well. And you can see Gillingham, though, they've had the ball in the Bournemouth box, the penalty area more, but haven't troubled the goalkeeper too much.
Asaba. Smith. Cox who gets it away. This is Mark Steen. Given away to Saunders.
The two boys there at the back for Bournemouth, Rob, you know, when they're clearing it, they don't just whack it, they're trying to just play it into strikers' feet. It's always nice to see.
Ashby. There's Cox. James Hayter.
It's a good strong play from Hayter there.
Trying to play it round the back to Young, and he's managed to reach him. He's gone inside Southall. Young, who provided the cross for the first goal.
Yeah, He's unlucky there, Young, isn't he? Man's position, just hustled out of it.
Well, young James Hayter is really battling away terrier-like in that Bournemouth midfield. They are trying to develop players through their own youth system, as well as bringing in youngsters who've been unable to make the grade at other professional clubs. And Hayter is one of the successes of their own system, although he was on the brink of joining Salisbury not so long ago. Was only recalled from that loan because Mark Steen had flu, and then made a dream return with a goal against Stoke in February, and has since kept his place in the team and earned a new 4-year contract. Pennock, the former Bournemouth player. Saba up against Cox.
Cox has gone down heavy. Oh, there's contact in the elbow. Well, Saba and Cox going for a 50-50 there and there. And Cox coming off the worst. A long old ball, wasn't it, from Pennock? Just whacked it up. The ball bounced high. You see Cox gets up well. So Saba's left arm.
Well, you've just been pinpointing the partnership of Cox and Howe, and they have built on a very solid foundation with those two. Cox, who was a wide midfield player in his Crystal Palace days, converted to that position by Mel Machin.
Yeah, the young boy Howe's got a good football brain. Now Mel, quiet manager, quietly contented there, but Howe, when Cox is on the ball, he gives him a bit of depth, gives him an angle, gives him an option. Play it long, and I'm here if you need me. It's good play.
And he's another of the successes of their youth system. Well, it promises to be a great weekend with the FA Cup semi-final on Sunday, live on Sky Sports 2 on midday. It's Manchester United against Arsenal. And in Scotland, we've got St Johnstone against Rangers. That's on Sky Sports 1 Sunday at 5:30.
Could there be a repeat of 3-1? I better stop upsetting these Rangers supporters.
We've also got Nationwide League action for you next Tuesday, incidentally. Bury against Sunderland from Gig Lane. That one's live on Sky Sports 3, and our coverage starts at 7:30. Here at Priestfield, Steve Robinson's goal separates Bournemouth from Gillingham. And Gillingham are digging in hard to try and produce this equaliser, but they've been frustrated so far. Asaba looking to unlock the door. Asaba this time can't find Taylor. It's broken awkwardly off Young though. Southall. Taylor helps it into the middle. Cox gets there. Well read again.
They're under heavy pressure, but how many times is the youngsters Cox and Howie coming to the rescue? It's not luck. They're just very, very good positional sense.
Southall. There's Rawlinson. A little duel between Fletcher and Butters goes in the Gillingham man's favour. Taylor the target from the free kick. Cleared again by Cox.
Gillingham are keeping the tempo up, aren't they? If they get a free kick through and they're taking it quickly, trying to put this Bournemouth side under more and more pressure. You have to say the visitors are coping. Beautiful night here for football. Cloudless sky earlier.
Steen. One back by Ashby. Essenthaler. This is Robinson. Now Warren. Essenthaler biting challenge on Rawlinson. done the job, though, as far as Gillingham are concerned. Taylor crosses towards Asaba. Cox is there again. Hessenthaler. Southall.
It's interesting there, Rob. Hessenthaler just had a word with the referee. He said, come on, ref, that was a clear 50-50. I'm sure this fella thinks the same. Rawlinson down in a heap. What a challenge this is. This is where he snaps in the challenge. Bang! And he catches him.
Well, didn't even get the reward of a free kick for it, Mark Rawlinson, and he's only just back in the team after a little spell out with injury. Taylor.
Bournemouth are working so hard in the midfield. They're getting back and they're squeezing the forwards. The forwards in possession. And he's got right behind them Howe, Cox and Young, but the midfield players are back there snapping as well. Good teamwork.
Krista Warren with the throw. Ashby. This is Hayter.
Smith just tugging back there.
This is Howe. Howe and Cox have been stubborn in their resistance so far.
Yeah, it's nice to see, though, just knocking about right across the back three.
Hughes finds Steen. Now Fletcher. Warren. Hughes. Big boot is from Pennock. Cox hoping to have it covered against Taylor. And who's there? Eddie Howe.
That's good stuff, isn't it? And Hughes is always available to the left of them, Rob. He's nice left foot. I think Gillingham somehow have to get the ball down the flanks and get some decent service into the front two. Taylor will win it. Asaba looking for the knockdowns.
Well, it's a very early stage in the game to be talking about changes, but Tony Pulis does have on the bench a winger who is capable of transforming games in the form of John Hodge, who hasn't really been accommodated in recent lineups because of the success of this formation.
Three massive games for Gillingham tonight. Fulham away in Man City here.
Here's Taylor, and he's helped it through towards Smith. Cut out well by Hayter, who was tracking back well.
Oh, again, the midfield boys back there helping out.
Here's Patterson. Saunders! Well, it was a lusty drive from Saunders. Well held, though, by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, just about to say, good goalkeeping. Nice strike, isn't it? And Mark Ovendale had I think he has a good sight of this. It's a good snapshot. That's a good save.
Young at the other end just gives a little test to Vince Bartram, but nothing like the test that Ovendale had passed just a moment or two ago.
I think Bournemouth having more joy down the flanks with Young, as you said there, Rob, and Warren on the left-hand side.
Here's Taylor. Smith. Guy Butters. Towards Asaba.
You have to say Asaba's been quiet so far in this first half. Really spring into action. Side need him.
Ashby. Southall looking for Taylor with a cross. Howe gets in front of him. Well, they're a very consistent pairing, Eddie Howe and Ian Cox. Very rarely mismatches. Howe now tied to the club on a long-term contract for the year 2005. Having progressed so impressively through the ranks. Already capped by the England under-21 coach Peter Taylor in 2 matches at the Toulon tournament last season. This is Fletcher.
That's a silly challenge, isn't it? Silly challenge there from the big fella. No, Ashby, he can't possibly get the ball. It's out on the touchline, there's no danger. And this is reckless for me. Good hold-up play from Fletcher, but watch this. That's from behind.
He's been a bit of a bad boy this season as Barry Ashby. That takes his yellow card count for the campaign up to number 12.
So once again, Rob, though, Bournemouth, if they wish, can just knock this into the box, into danger area. You know, half-time looming. For me, it's pointless challenging now.
Taking too much time for the referee's liking. Over the kick.
Wow, Fletcher wrestled to the ground there.
Well, Butters appeared to have his arms around the striker, although there didn't seem to be too much of a protest from Fletcher.
I think there was a bit of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other there, Rob, but he definitely gets wrestled to the ground. They're on the right old tussle, these two. Look at this. Arms round them. You got to be careful as a defender doing that in the box.
Well, they've just given away a needless free kick, and that challenge from Butters could have been even more costly. But Gillingham have had rather a bad habit of picking up yellow cards this season. That one for Ashby makes it 65 in total now for the 11 that they currently have on the pitch.
Misunderstanding. Good crowd here though at Priestfield. They're urging the home side on, back into the match. It's desperate to get something tonight, I feel. With two such big games coming up.
Apart from Northampton, Walsall the only other team to win a league game here in the last 16 months. Smith.
Yeah, just trying with the right foot, going for the far post again. No danger to Ovendale, keeping his eye on it.
Walsall won here on the opening day of the season, and it's their place in second spot that these two teams now covet. Robinson. To Steen. Now Warren. He's pulled it back well, and Hayter's ballooned it over.
What a chance. What a chance. Great play from Warren. Steen again involved in the build-up. But really, that's a golden opportunity to put your side 2 up. This is pace from Krista Warren. Good cut back. And really, you've got to hit the target there.
James Hayter made his debut as an 18-year-old. In fact, his first 2 league appearances at home were both against Gillingham. Here's Hessenthaler. Southall. Hessenthaler's done very well to keep that one in play, but Howe recovers.
Great recovery.
Southall. It's Hayter who emerges with it.
Good game this, Roberts. Played at a good tempo.
Neil Young. Well, he saw the run of Robinson, but Butters had read his mind. This is Southall. Hessenthaler. Looking for Taylor.
I don't think Asaba does anything from there, you know. It's a difficult header for Taylor, and Asaba stands. I think he's got to go towards his strike partner, get closer.
There was a push on Cox that time. It's the 112th consecutive league appearance, this, for Ian Cox, who hasn't missed a game since a win at Preston over 2.5 years ago, in the league at least. He was suspended for one FA Cup tie earlier this season, and he is actually one booking away from a suspension in the current campaign. Hayter.
Barton with too much of a rush there, apologising.
Young. Ashby. This is Fletcher. Warren. Steen.
And it's patient, Rob, just knocking it about unless it's on. And just find another pass.
Robinson, provider and scorer of the first goal, linking up again. And fury there being expressed by Saunders, who's clearly indicating his belief that Robinson dived.
He's lucky it's not in the box, but is it a dive? You can see clearly that's why he's angry. That's why he's angry. There's a little contact there, but Saunders, it's delayed action. And that, well, he's lucky not to get a yellow card.
Caught by a sniper in the crowd, it appeared.
You can always, 9 times out of 10 you can tell by a player's reaction. Saunders is furious.
It's Hughes with the free kick, goalkeeper's ball. Too comfortable really for Bartram. Vince Bartram, who had 3 years at Bournemouth in the early 90s. Hessenthaler.
Hessenthaler's trying to drag his team with the scruff of the neck back into this match.
Here's Howe. Neil Young.
And Tony Pulis have been looking for a little bit more quality from his side. The work rate's good, just quality's lacking at the moment.
Here's a sub. On the throw. Smith. Warren. Steen
using all his experience there, going for the through ball, then suddenly coming back off the centre half, and that was a late challenge. Hessenthaler, just his endeavour taking him there, a little bit naughty.
He may have pushed his luck a little too far this time.
You can see, and that's a bad one. That deserves to be, well, a yellow at least.
Hessenthaler got away with one earlier on Rawlinson, but it is a yellow card, and he's another one who's in double figures in terms of the number of bookings this season. Unlucky 13th. Here's Ian Cox. Steen. Young. Time it is, with Bournemouth in the lead after a very professional first half display. A well-crafted opening goal scored by Steve Robinson after some good work on the right by Mark Steen and Neil Young. Steen's battling qualities and perseverance set up the crossing opportunity, and it was a deft little flick from the Northern Ireland international Robinson for his 16th goal of the season and the 50th of his Bournemouth career. Bournemouth have defended solidly too. Howe and Cox have been very solid, and at half-time Bournemouth lead Gillingham by 1-0.
Sunday at midday on Sky Sports 2, the FA Cup semi-final between Manchester United and Arsenal, and at 5:30 on Sky Sports 1, the Scottish Cup semi-final between St Johnstone and Rangers. A huge cup double coming up for you on Sunday here on Sky Sports. It's half-time at the Priestfield Stadium. The match facts reveal, well, just one goal in it, but apart from that, it's fairly even. It's been a hard-fought tie, you could say, I suppose. Fair few fouls, 3 bookings. Ashby and Hessenthaler for the home side. Bournemouth have had Neil Young booked. As for the action areas, well, the ball's been more in Bournemouth's half than it has been in Gillingham, apart from one vital moment. One other game being played tonight. The latest score at half-time, it's Swansea 0, Shrewsbury 1. Kevin Seabury, the scorer, he was sent off against Hartlepool earlier this week. One goal in it, a nice goal, Ray, a well-worked goal, the sort of goal that you were saying before the match Bournemouth do well at.
Well, they do, because Mark Steen was very, very patient. He held the ball inside the box, then laid it back to Neil Young, and he got in a good ball for Robinson to score. Here we see it here. You think that Mark's going to work himself half a yard and try and get a crossing. Can't get the ball in, so he looks back, and he's well supported there from Neil Young. As the ball comes in, there's Robinson across the front of the near post. That's where stacks of goals are scored, Matt, across the front of that near post. We see it once again. Mark is attempting to get that ball in, but he wants to get himself in the box being a striker. Can't do it, so he comes out. And this is a nice ball back, gives him the opportunity to put the ball in first time. And there's Robinson across the front of the near post, his 16th goal this season from midfield, which is a fantastic tally, it has to be said.
How difficult is that to do? Get that header in from that angle?
You just flick it, mate, and hope. It helps if you've got no hair whatsoever. It can come off anyway.
I'd still be hoping. Well, it's a time to score another goal, isn't it, when the other side have gone ahead, and they almost did that, Gillingham.
They did. Carlos Asaba got in, and he was given offside. He put it in the side netting. But I think Bournemouth have been more comfortable with the two sides for the 45 minutes. They had more possession and looked more capable of getting the second goal. But Carlos Asaba getting in there, put it in the side netting, and that was just after Bournemouth scored. So it's good for Bournemouth that they didn't get back in it. But I don't think he's offside here. As the header comes, there's no way is he offside there. But the linesman actually gave him offside, but he missed anyway, so it doesn't count.
That was a difficult chance looking at that second time, don't you think?
Yeah, he's wide of the goals anyway.
They all look difficult to me. Saunders had a cracking shot not long after that. The keeper was up to it.
Yes, it was straight at him, really. It's a good power in it, but straight at Ovendale there. Here it comes, set back. Come on, a nice strike, straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Handled it well. But I think Bournemouth have looked very comfortable. They've passed the ball well. It's just long-range shooting, really.
It's difficult to tell when the away crowd can't make as much noise as the home lot, but I reckon there might have been a stronger appeal for a penalty at one stage during that half. It might have been 2-0, surely, after this.
Well, it was. They've had a bit of a tussle as Guy Butters and Big Fletcher up the front. And as the ball comes in here, you know, Butters has got his arms all over him. And we'll see another angle coming up in a couple of seconds. Look, his arms are all over him. All Fletcher's doing is trying to make some movement. And he's just dragged him to the floor. I think they had a fair case there for a penalty kick.
Well, if they were denied then, they were denied a second time. Another great build-up, Nigel, ending up in James Hayter, but probably could have done better.
Yeah, but he's looked, this Krista Warren down this left-hand side looked good all night. Got good pace, he cuts this back well. And Hayter just gets in front of the defenders there, but can't keep his shot down. But it's a very good play down that left-hand side, and Bournemouth look good when they've got the ball wide. The two wide lads have got the balls in well. Good crosses and good pace from Krista Warren down that left-hand side.
OK, chaps, it's 1-0 at the Priestfield, but anything could happen between these two. They're renowned for scoring goals, especially in this fixture. We'll find out whether they do or not in just a couple of minutes. World Championship Boxing coming up for you on Saturday night. Prince Nassim defends his WBO featherweight title against Paul Ingle. And one of the all-time greats, Thomas Hitman Hearns, takes on Nate Miller for the IBO Cruiserweight title live on Sky Box Office 3 and on Sky Digital. The show starts at 8 p.m. For more information on this box office event, call 0990 800 888. That's 0990 800 888. Back at the Priestfield Stadium, the Gillingham chairman, Paul Scally, has received a cheque for £276,000 from the Sports Council, which is to be used for Gillingham's youth development. Ray Wilkins, Nigel Spackman here. I wonder, Ray, what they could use in terms of getting back on terms in this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them. They're kicking into their own supporters. Not literally, Matt, but towards that end. And that will give them a little bit of a boost. They normally score quite a few of their goals at that end. But I've been very impressed with Bournemouth. They've actually tried to get the ball on the floor. They've passed the ball at every opportunity they've had, and they've worked very hard to prevent the ball down in the box. So I think it's been a good performance from them, but Gillingham have got an uphill battle.
When we look at chances, if you call that a penalty appeal, you look at the late chance that Hayter missed out on, Nigel, your old side are giving a good account of themselves.
I think they've played very, very well. They've worked very hard as well. Fletcher and Steen up front have worked hard to close the defenders down. They've looked like they've linked up well as well, and they've got the ball wide. And if they can continue to get the ball in wide areas and get the crosses in, they score more goals. But Gillingham worked very, very hard, so they've got to match them in the second half. They're a very, very fit side, so they've got to match them there, and hopefully they'll be all right. Get the 3 points.
OK, the second half awaits. Let's rejoin our commentators, Alan Brazil, and first, Rob Hawthorne.
Well, Bournemouth have managed to keep 4 clean sheets in their last 7 matches, and with the form that Ian Cox and Eddie Howe have shown already so far, it's easy to understand why. But Gillingham, for all their hard work so far, haven't managed to penetrate. Can they change that in this second 45 minutes? They're trailing to Steve Robinson's goal as Patterson finds Hessenthaler. Already pressure on Bournemouth as they look for Smith. And it was Young who dived in with a challenge, and it came off the Gillingham man for the goal kick.
It's a good start from Gillingham, and that's what they need. They've got to start putting Bournemouth under pressure. First 15 minutes is vital. They've got to get this crowd behind them, and Young, good challenge there.
Neil Young, free transfer signing from Tottenham, leaving an early mark on Paul Smith. The goal made and scored by the former Spurs duo. Young who crossed the ball, Robinson who scored it.
I tell you what, Ovendale's got to be careful here, Rob, because he is taking so much time with goal kicks. The referee's warned him already.
Cox. And Ian Cox again. Robinson.
There's a little bit afters there with Cox and Taylor.
Here's Hayter. Smith.
Yeah, it's great work. It's great work from Hayter again. And I can't believe the ref's giving it the other way. I think it's the linesman. Watch this. This is great from the youngster. That one to get there. Clear push. Well, I see it the other way.
Well, he's playing midfield at the moment, James Hayter, having had quite a prolific goal-scoring record as a striker in the youth and reserve teams. But he's settled down well to this first-team role.
There's no doubt here, Rob, that if Gillingham are going to get back in this game, they need more from Carl Asaba.
Here's Hessenthaler. Patterson. Looking for Taylor. Howe is there.
I've heard so much about this young boy, Howe, but he's impressing me again. Great positional sense.
Steen. Running into Pennock in the end. This is Robinson.
That's late. That's late on Fletcher. And Pennock's in trouble. That was after good work again from little Mark Steen. You see the challenge there. That's nasty again.
Well, there were 6 bookings when the two teams met earlier in the season in the 3-3 draw at Dean Court. 5 of them for Gillingham players. Adrian Pennock has become the 3rd Gillingham player to be booked tonight. 4 in total. A number of names taken by Andy Hall, the referee. Hughes delaying on the taking of the free kick. It's Rawlinson who lofts it in. And it's Robinson!
Good save.
An important save from Bartra.
Well, that's kept him in it. I think a goal at this stage for Bournemouth, the second goal would kill the game. Tight angle, but the keeper spreads himself well.
Robinson. Southall. Taylor.
That's disappointing. After good control from the big fella. Brought it down lovely. Again, desperate to find Asaba.
Header away is by Butters. This is Nicky Southall. He's got Hessenthaler and Asaba to his right. Patterson's coming forward from the back. Taylor's got in the middle as well now. It's gone beyond Asaba, and Warren takes charge, just leaves it to his goalkeeper.
A little bit weak again.
Well, that was very high.
And that's right out of Claude Van Damme, that is.
It was Mark Saunders and the Gillingham players crowding around the referee, who has a big decision to make here.
Well, they both were high, but Saunders hit, you know, obviously he's come off the best, and he looks like the culprit, but they both go high. Just bounces up high, and you can see the venom in the tackle.
And how seriously does Andy Hall judge that? He's pulled Saunders out of the crowd. Is the time just giving him a little breathing space to draw the sting out of the situation?
I think it's good refereeing as well, Rob, and you hit it spot, you know, right on the head there, that he's just taking his time, the ref. He's having a good think about it while he's talking to Saunders. How bad was it? Yellow card. Good ref.
Well, he's left him in no doubt that nothing else like that will be tolerated, but that means a forthcoming suspension for Mark Saunders, booking number 8 of the season.
It's nasty. You can see them both going for it, but you can see the... Oh. A lot of referees might have just suddenly gone to the pocket. Out comes red, you're off, son. He thought about it.
Andy Hall is actually the youngest referee on the Football League list. This is Robinson. Official from Birmingham, joined the list at the age of just 28 this season.
Oh, he's enjoying it out there, isn't he? I think that's good as well when they talk to the players, ref. A lot of referees, you know, they feel they're, you know, they shouldn't talk to players. I think you get a better response if you're chatting all the time. I think players respect that.
Taylor.
I think Big Taylor's getting through a lot of work up there, Rob. I just feel he needs help. Asaba's got to get closer to him. We say he's got silky skills and pace, Asaba. Well, he hasn't shown us tonight. Yet.
A quiet game for him so far. Saunders it is with the throw. Patterson lining it up for Saunders to cross. Asaba's there.
Yeah, he gets his head in it. It's a difficult header. Can't get any power behind it. Just dinked into the box. Asaba at the far post, surrounded by defenders. How again close to him.
Taylor. Well, Gillingham haven't won a game after falling behind since back in November, when they were a goal down to Oldham and won it by 2 goals to 1. It's only happened on one other occasion this season, when they beat Lincoln with 2 from Carl Asaba back in October.
You just feel, though, Rob, if Bournemouth keep their work rate up, it's going to be difficult to get back in the match for the home side.
Butters with a header away.
Tony Pulis will be thinking about changing. Just to mix it up a little bit, give Bournemouth defence, which has been sound so far, some more to think about.
Well, John Hodge is the man that he's hoping will be his talisman. He's actually scored 3 goals against Bournemouth in the last 4 seasons, in his spells with Swansea and with Walsall, and he's coming on to take the place of Mark Saunders. Hodge is a player who plays on the right wing, although they have had to play him through the middle at times when they've been without the likes of Asaba and Taylor.
He's straight over at the right wing, Rob, isn't he?
Here's Smith.
I think one thing it will do, it'll stop Warren getting down the way. It'll give Krista Warren something to think about.
And their thoughts immediately now are turning to defending this corner kick. Williamson and Hughes are ready to take it.
Again, no rush here, just taking the time. It's good. The lines were saying, come on, hurry up.
Smith with a header clear, and a good positive header it was.
This has been a polished performance for me from Bournemouth. Just wonder if this pressure, Gillingham, will they crack?
Rawlinson, cleared by Pennock. Good burst on here from Neil Young. Now can he cross? Fletcher's in there! Well, it was a good save, but it was a foul anyway by Fletcher.
I tell you what, Rob, it's a foul, but what a cross. On the right-hand side there, great play from Young. Good pace, has a look, in with pace with the ball. Great ball, and good defending. Fletcher climbing all over him.
To deal again with the threat of Asaba. There were appeals for handball, but didn't appear to be the case.
I think that's the difference there, the way Howe plays the ball out of defence. Well, Gillingham's back three, no nonsense, they just whack it upfield, go on, get after that. Whereas Bournemouth try to play football right from the back.
Well, it's been an impressively solid display from the back line. Butters with the free kick. That was Taylor's header. It's Cox. Fletcher. Robinson, Young is trying to break. And Southall has been doing everything in his power to try and stop him getting forward.
Good play though, isn't it? Robinson and Young combining well. A little bit of talking there. I'm coming. Hold it now. Give me it. Southall getting back there.
And the surges down the right from Neil Young are becoming ever more dangerous for Gillingham. Steen has just carried that too far.
Steen's the danger man, but I think Fletcher alongside him has played his part tonight. Big, strong target man.
Interception by Southall. That was Howe. This is Fletcher. And now Steen. Warren. Young. Robinson. Will Robinson get there?
A little bit of pace about them as well, Bournemouth, haven't they?
Here's Hodge finally getting into the action. Warren. Well, the decision goes in Pennock's favour. Fletcher adjudged to have been backing into him. Helped on by Hodge. Well, Carlos Saba was Tony Pulis's big investment this season when he splashed out £600,000 for him.
20 goals, Rob's a good return. Haven't seen much of him yet. He could still yet spring into life.
Well, Gillingham are constantly appealing about the time that the Bournemouth goalkeeper is taking over these goal kicks. But no remedial action taken by the officials so far. You can bet though that if he persists, the yellow card won't be too far away.
That's what you call a shove. Taylor's getting frustrated. It's a poor throw. Don't give Taylor any chance at all.
Well, Mark Ovendale has been taking his time over these, and again the jeers go up from the crowd about the deliberate placement of the ball. the long run up.
Gillingham players having a go at their refs and hey, come on. They want to keep the tempo up. Bournemouth just content, one up, knocking the ball about, taking their time, and why not?
Here's Young. Robinson. Ashby gets it away. It was Warren, Smith, Hessenthaler caught by Rawlinson.
That could be a nasty one as well. Smith fell down. Hessenthaler does well. He's brave here. Just getting a toe at the ball. But certainly gets caught. This is brave. Just chucking your toe out there. Bang. Oh, it's lunge, isn't it?
Rawlinson is the latest player to be cautioned and brings the bookings count up to 6, the same number between the teams earlier in the season. The difference then being that there were 6 goals as well shared between the two sides. And it means a suspension for Rawlinson.
I think how Ovendale's getting away with taking his time is because the ref likes to take his time, doesn't he? Doesn't do anything in a rush.
Patterson has done well. Here's Pennock. Well, Cox and Howe have provided a brick wall against the Gillingham threat so far. Sarber and Taylor have been unable to find any cracks to date.
There's a lot of grit about this Gillingham side, Rob. They won't give in. Let's go back to the point I was trying to make earlier. Bournemouth have to keep their work rate up. For me, they're the better footballing side, but they have to work.
Here's Hodge. Cox it is who gets it clear. Hessenthaler. Hodge again. With skills from Hodge, a testing ball. Taylor tries to come between 2 players, Hughes and Cox.
Tell you what, Fletcher's done brilliant here, Rob. He has done brilliant here, the big fella, back defending. Because this looks to be going right on Taylor's forehead. Look at Fletcher, get in front. Great defending. Taylor thinks, here we go, 1-1. Fletcher having none of it.
And his endeavours have won another corner. Butters has helped it back to Hessenthaler, blocked by Hughes.
They're absolutely peppering the goal mouth now, Gillingham. Can they get the breakthrough? Can they get level?
Well, it's been a very professional display so far from Mel Machin's team, but can they keep up the resistance here? Pennock. Patterson. Hessenthaler. A free kick that'll be as good as a corner.
He was in jail there, wasn't he, Hessenthaler? But a free kick will do. Dangerous situation now for Bournemouth to defend again.
Hodge is the man over the ball once the ball has retreated. Hessenthaler. Hodge. 3 on him. This is Hessenthaler. Looking for Taylor. Goal kick.
You said there's 3 on him, Rob, and it's right. They are getting back superbly well, Bournemouth. They're helping each other, they're doubling up, trebling up. And when the ball goes in the box, I think they feel that Cox and Howe, no problem, they'll deal with it.
Well, they haven't had a great record against Gillingham in recent times. Just 1 victory in their last 10 league meetings for Bournemouth. That was comfortable enough. 4-0 at Dean Court back in December '97. But they're grimly holding on to what they've got here, and they'll have plenty more defending to do.
There's some tackles flying in now.
It's Hessenthaler up against Rawlinson. Southall looking to get it across.
Good goalkeeping right on his 6-yard line. No problem, I'll have that, Ovendale.
Well, they were organised enough to claim the offside.
So the crowd are helping them, aren't they? They're very, very noisy.
Taylor. Cross comes Cox. Hessenthaler. Ashby. Ian Cox didn't really get too much on that. And Taylor's won it back from Warren. Good ball in, but again, good goalkeeping.
Well, Taylor finds himself out wide. It's good play from Taylor, but can't find Asaba again. Ovendale looks comfortable, doesn't he, in the air? This is good play from the big fella. Clips it in, keeper again.
Well, he showed a safe pair of hands on a few occasions now as 25-year-old Mark Ovendale. Actually played against Dynamo Kiev for Barry Town in the first qualifying round of the European Cup only last season. Lost 6-0 on aggregate.
Seen if there's any advantage, saying no. Hughes climbing all over Taylor. And again, Gillingham can get it in the box.
Well, at the moment, it's Bournemouth who are poised to close the gap on Walsall, who are currently in second place, to just 1 point to draw themselves level with third place Preston. Gillingham, though, showing plenty of desire. This is Hodge. Good ball in towards Asaba. Smith!
He wouldn't come down quick enough for him, would it? I think Hodge, since Hodge has been on this field, he's causing a few dangers. He's giving them a bit of width now, and he's coming inside. It's a good run from Hessenthaler. He goes round Hodge, tells him to go inside. Good ball in the box, and Smith, it just won't come down for him.
Well, he was out of contract at Walsall at the end of last season, which allowed Gillingham to pick him up on a free, John Hodge. Good header forward from Patterson. Cox is there, but he slipped, and this is Taylor! And Ovendale could only stand and watch that one fly wide.
He looked to his right, didn't he? Ovendale think, please go wide. This is the first time Cox and Howe getting a bit of trouble. Cox goes down, suddenly Taylor on his left foot says right. Far corner, in the end, well wide.
A glimmer of hope, though, for Gillingham. Still, this stubborn rear guard won't be broken. Well, Hessenthaler is really toiling hard for the cause.
Paxson scurrying after the ball as well. The midfield now, they're beginning to win it now, Gillingham. Winning the 50-50s, they're getting the knockdowns.
Can they turn the possession into a goal? It's Southall with a free kick. Only Patterson has been left behind the ball for Gillingham. Bournemouth have pulled everyone back. Young gets it away. Everyone except Vince Bartram inside the Bournemouth half as Taylor collects the throw. It's fallen to Hessenthaler. Can he strike one? Yes, he can! And what a way to draw them level! Finally, Bournemouth have broken down, and the Gillingham fans celebrate.
It's a great strike, Rob. I just wonder if this is deflected. Hessenthaler coming inside. Taylor again. Strong. Little Hessenthaler picks up the knockdown. Does this at a deflection? It's a great strike right in the top corner. Keeper no chance. On his right foot, just about to whack it. Watch for a little deflection there. Top corner. What? Well, you have to say Gillingham deserve it. No doubt about it. It comes off Warren and deflects in the top corner.
Well, it took a touch off the arm of the defender, but no doubt Andy Hessenthaler will claim it. His 8th goal of this season was already his best season for scoring goals. He'd gone 18 months without one before the start of this season. And he finally scored 2 against Wrexham back in September. But in the context of this campaign, that could be a crucial goal.
Well, now Bournemouth are going to have to work. You can't expect your defenders to keep absorbing that type of pressure. Had to crack. But what a good goal. And Hessenthaler's worked as hard as any Gillingham player. Look at him. Get the troops. Come on. Give us more. Great stuff.
Well, he wears that captain's armband with a lot of pride. He's turned in a real captain's display so far. And there's a huge amount of merit for him in the fact that he got the goal. Here's Asaba, and he's won a corner. And suddenly Bournemouth, having appeared impenetrable, are rocking.
Well, I think little Hodges made a big difference. That bit of width, now they're getting crosses in the box. And as you say, Bournemouth now have to dig deep.
Hodge it is with the corner. Avondale doesn't collect this time, it's Hessenthaler again. And this one's blocked. Butters lifts it back in and Taylor's unmarked!
Oh, Robert Taylor, what a chance. Caught in two minds, Rob. Do I go back across the goal or do I go for goal?
Hessenthaler. Asaba pulling out wide and Cox hitting it against him for the throw.
Yeah, Bournemouth have now got to start keeping possession again. They're giving the ball away. Earlier on it was great, but what about this for a chance? The big fella, is he going for the far post? Is he trying to knock it back across? He goes for the cross and doesn't pick out anyone.
Well, you would have thought his instincts would have taken him towards goal, but he looked at players in positions to his left, thought it was the better option. They're looking for Taylor again here. Hughes has missed his header. Warren's hoping his goalkeeper can get there.
And he did. Taylor's up for this as well, isn't he? He's really put himself about.
Gillingham, remember, came into this game occupying the last place in the playoff area. 7 points, looked a comfortable enough cushion over Wigan, but they and Stoke are still busily buzzing around just outside the playoff area. They've had some recent good results, and Gillingham know that any slip could well be capitalised upon.
I think Bournemouth now got to start trying to find Fletcher his chest to hold it up and relieve a bit of pressure.
Here's Hessenthaler. And he's won another corner.
He's been inspirational, hasn't he? Look at him, 33 years of age, fit as a fiddle, driving his side on, looking for these 3 points.
It's the 350th appearance of Andy Hessenthaler's career now, a career that saw him first make the grade with Watford. Hodges' corner it is.
Tell you, Rob, I know he's been beaten once, but I've been impressed with this fella.
He'd had a spell in the league with Northampton before drifting into the non-league game with Wisbech and then to Barry, Mark Avondale. Fouling Fletcher.
Bournemouth about to change it now. They have to just try and slow things down again. Sorry, I thought it was Bournemouth. It's actually Gillingham again.
And they're going to bring on Kevin Lisby, who they currently have on loan for the rest of the season from Charlton. The player they're taking off is Carl Asaba, who's been somewhat out of sorts, and Lisby, who scored 3 goals in his first 3 starts at the beginning of his loan spell, comes on now with 17 minutes left. And a change to the Bournemouth. Mark Rawlinson is the player who's gone on. Jason Tyndall is the man who's come on to take his place, and he's another player from Charlton. Fletcher with a header down, and Robinson looking to get in.
Well, that's Bournemouth's first attack for a long time, isn't it? They've got to start venturing forward now and getting their width again.
Steve. He's young. Tyndall.
Suddenly the passing game's not there, is it? You have to give Gillingham a lot of credit because they are closing down, they're working hard. They've dragged themselves back into this match. Lisby's gone down off the ball there.
Warren. Ashby. Just getting there ahead of James Hayter. And Lisby, who's recovered after that early tumble he took. He's had a bit of a problem with an injury since his arrival at the club. Had a shoulder problem. Fletcher. Pennick. Lisby getting away from Hughes, but Cox is there ahead of Taylor.
Well, Lisby the target now. Taylor's the target man. Lisby's got a bit of pace to try and put Cox under pressure.
Minutes to go, the game could still go either way. Hodge.
I think you have to say Bournemouth will settle for the point now, Rob. Well, as Gillingham are desperate for 3, and this sets them up for the 2 big ones, Fulham and Man City.
Fulham away from home, Manchester City to come here, and Stoke, the only other side to visit Priestfield this season. As it is with the free kick. Knocked back in by Taylor towards Lisby. Butters.
Maybe back in, but I thought Hughes' arm was round him here. That's why Taylor's furious. Richard Hughes clearly had his arm round his throat. High up and under. You see Taylor gets in front, but look at the tugging going on.
Fletcher. Robinson. Southall. This is Howe. Robinson. Finding steam, but this is Hessenthaler.
Hessenthaler beginning to have gotten that in there now.
Lisby having been set away by Smith. Hodges going through the middle. Lisby taking on Hughes. A little bit of bumping and barging inside the area as Lisby pulls it back for Smith.
The only one thing in Smith's mind there, where's big Taylor?
Hughes diverting it back, and Cox having to clear the lines.
Yeah, suddenly Bournemouth are ruffled, aren't they? They used to play their way out of defence first half. Not, they can't do it now. Close down too much.
Lisby trying to get away from Hughes again. There's a challenge there that the referee takes action against. Tyndall, the offender.
He took a real swipe at the ball, missed the ball. Luckily he doesn't hit the man. But this is danger again, far post.
Well, Hobbs, the substitute, who's really transformed Gillingham's fortunes, gets in his kick.
Cox definitely wrestled to the ground there. And that just gives precious time to relax for Bournemouth, push out of defence and try and slow it down again through Ovendale. This is Taylor holding it up. Does he handball this? That's what they're screaming at just there. He's got 2 defenders round him. But Taylor does well, gets away with it. Then Hessenthaler takes over. Wicked deflection. No chance for the goalkeeper.
Fox struggling to get back on this one with Taylor there. And he's playing keep up with it. And then comes in and looks for a possible rebound. And as the challengers were flying in, Cox was left grounded.
Cox is taking a little rest. There have been 2 influential players for me in this pitch. Taylor has gone crazy. That's a late challenge, just knocking Cox over. Taylor and Hessenthaler for me have really picked up this home side.
Lisby. Highly promising England youth international, Kevin Lisby.
I think both subs have come on and done well, haven't they? He's got a bit of spark about him. There's Hodge in the wing. Just give them the width they needed.
Barry Ashby's free kick up towards Taylor.
And Taylor's taking a heavy one there.
Young it was who came into challenge, and there was a collision of heads.
Yeah, I think no doubt Howe and Young both going for the same ball. You see the concentration, it's the elbow. Both have a bit of that.
Big semi-final weekend coming up on Sky. Manchester United against Arsenal, Sky Sports 2, Sunday at midday. And north of the border, St Johnstone against Rangers, Sky Sports 1, Sunday at 5:30. Our next Nationwide League action is live on Tuesday at 7:30. It's Bury against Sunderland on Sky Sports 3. Here's Lisby. Bournemouth with 4 back, but Taylor gets there.
Again, Howe so tight and so close to Taylor. It's good play from Lisby, breaking away in the right, but this kid again, superb. Lisby looks up, just guess, he realises it's got to be just a cutback, hopeful, and Taylor can't swivel on it.
Just 21 years of age is Eddie Howe. His under-21 appearances for England came against South Africa and Argentina last summer. And Bournemouth, not the selling club that they once were. Had to sell virtually an entire squad in Tony Pulis's reign. Young here gets it across. And here's Steen with an opening maybe, but Bartram was quick off his line.
Well, this is what Gillingham have to be careful, because Steen, like Asaba, has been quiet, but Steen only needs half a chance, and that's a late one.
Was committed by Krista Warren.
And the shouts are off. I can't believe that. Just a little bit late. It's going to be another yellow.
And it's also going to be another suspension for Krista Warren.
That's just having a wee smell of this in. You don't think I can let you off with that, do you? What's your name, son? Of course it's late. Hessenthaler again, first to the ball.
It's his 5th caution of the season. Good turn by Lisby. Cleared by Cox. Hessenthaler. Pennock. Lisby. Smith. Lisby gets the corner off Ian Cox.
It's intense pressure, isn't it, on this Bournemouth defence? Inside the last 10 minutes, can Gillingham go on and win this match?
Well, Lisby being joined in the area by Pennock and by Butters, who's gone to stand right in front of the goalkeeper, who's made 1 or 2 safe catches previously. And Butters in front of him, but he still manages to get it clear. Only to Hessenthaler, who's hit 1 good one already to score. No foul. Attempting to give Warren the slip, only to find Hayter there.
Sometimes, Rob, you know, when you're under so much pressure, you need an old head out there, or a couple of old heads, a bit of experience to try and slow it down. Bournemouth with the kids at the moment, finding the going tough after looking really good first half.
Lisby, one of the young hopefuls in the Gillingham ranks. And he's got his cross past Cox, and Taylor lifts it over.
Should have been the winner on his left foot. Easier chance than he had a few minutes ago. Again, Lisby the provider. The big fella just can't move his feet quick enough here. This is great play. Gets past Cox again, drills it back, and you've got to hit the target. Robert Taylor knows that was a glorious chance. And really, Gillingham now bombing forward. 10 against Bournemouth 6. And very even on the target.
And it's evened up thanks to their performance in the second half. During the first period, they were barely able to get past Cox and Howe. But this constant pressure has proved so difficult to absorb. Can they contain them for the last 5 minutes or so then? Taylor gets it across towards Lisby.
I'll tell you what, Rob, it's going to be a tricky old choice for the boys in the studio, this man of the match. I just wonder, this fella and his partner have been excellent. If they can hold this to 1-1, one of them might have a chance. And obviously the two midfielders in the studio, they'll be looking at Hess and Tyler. And I think Taylor's done well as well.
So you're saying you're glad it's not your decision tonight?
Well, it never is. But I'm glad.
Foul by Fletcher.
Well, just under 5 minutes remaining here. Fletcher again, he's worked terribly hard as well. Just climbing with the arms again.
Helped on by Taylor.
This is dangerous. Right on the edge of the box. Hughes bringing down the tireless working Taylor again. And Hess and Tyler might fancy another go here. This is danger time. Panic for Bournemouth.
Well, Tyler has scored one blockbuster already. He's over this. He's got plenty of options.
I think he's going to dink it in, but surely strike.
Well, Butter slipped, did the best he could in the circumstances. This is Hodge. And Hodge gets it dangerously across and Cox clears.
Well, that was some 1-2, wasn't it, between Box and Hess and Tyler?
Well, not what they intended. Almost yielded something, though.
Fans were screaming for a strike, weren't they?
Here's Young. Oh, and he's let it go, Southall, and Robinson didn't make it as costly as it could have been.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go down there for a little minute. I'm glad he didn't, because it would have been a bit of a dive. But when he runs across Southall here, just at this point, I think if he gets there first and goes down, Southall does well, doesn't dive in.
Robinson just giving Southall a scare after that error of judgment. Gave him the merest hint of an opening. Howe doing well here against Lisby. Not too much on for him, though.
Yeah, he's done well again, the youngster, but Lisby's causing problems, isn't he, with his direct running and his pace.
Here's Hodge. He's pulled that across well to Taylor. And Lisby looking to turn.
I tell you what, Rob, I'm certain Taylor's his header's going in the bottom corner. And I think Lisby might have handled it as well. Taylor just tried to hold his ground, pick his spot, and unfortunately for young Lisby, gets in the way. Great play from Hodge. I think the keeper's beat there. Lisby looking for the winner himself. Great ball, great wing play. Taylor just holds off Hughes, and I think that was going bottom corner, although Cox was there, trying to help his keeper out.
Well, Patterson came off worst from a challenge with Steve Robinson in the ensuing melee. So he's getting treatment for that at the moment.
His teammates are saying, come on, get up. The Bournemouth players are saying, yes, stay down there. Give us a little breather. Great spirit from his side.
Well, he does produce that sort of team, Tony Pulis. Says he learns a lot about the art of management during a turbulent couple of years at Bournemouth, where he virtually had to sell an entire squad of players. And things looked pretty bleak when he arrived at Gillingham. As for Mel Machin, who succeeded Pulis, he had to save them an unlikely saviour from relegation during his first full season in charge.
I think Mel's saying, come on, ref, blow that whistle, we'll go home with 1 point. That'll do us. After a great first half, they've been under the cosh second.
Well, the choice has been made, and the nationwide man of the match is Ian Cox for his sterling work at the back here tonight for Bournemouth.
I tell you, Nigel and Ray, they've shocked me there. I thought Hessenthaler was the man going on with the bubbly.
Here's Steen. Ashby gets it clear. Hayter.
Taylor doing an incredible amount of work there, winning it back.
Handball by Lisby. Stoppage time will be crucial here, and there are 4 minutes of it to be added, so still time for either side to snatch a winner.
And Mel Mitchell just said, "Oh, give us a break, will you?"
Here's Pennock. Taylor. Hodge looking to get there. The other substitute, Lisby, has diverted it in! And from being 1-0 down in injury time, Gillingham are 2-1 up for what could be 3 priceless points.
Well, you have to say, well done, Tony Pulis. Puts on his 2 subs. Great cross from Hodge. Taylor does brilliant here. That's a great ball. Hodge, I thought, might take a touch. He just drills it in. Lisby sticks out the right toe and past the goalkeeper. Surely that's the winner. And what a cracker to win a match with. Taylor, Hodge and the youngster Lisby. And all Bournemouth's good work first half is going to be punished. Great spirit, smashing strike. That is the winner.
Well, they didn't like the sight of that 4-minute board going up to indicate how much time was left on. They're glad that there is so much time now. Bournemouth trail 2-1, and it's the 2 substitutes that Tony Pulis has brought on in this second half who've turned the tide.
Great noise now, the home fans, they believe it. Division 1, we could be there.
It would be for the first time ever. Gillingham have spent their entire existence in the bottom 2 divisions.
Tell you what, Rob, City are in for a fight here as well, aren't they? This team don't give up.
Final substitute for Gillingham. Darren Carr, a defender, is the man who's coming on. And Bournemouth are also going to make a change here. Richard Hughes is going off. Still waiting for his introduction.
I think the crowd are just getting their breath at the moment, because it's been non-stop the second half. Bournemouth in the defensive, Gillingham pounding away, and the super subs coming up trumps.
A certain amount of confusion there over which board was actually being held up, but Jamie Hayter has finally gone off to be replaced by Steve Lovell, and Bob Taylor is the man that Gillingham had sacrificed. Hessenthaler. This is Lisby.
His touch has just let him down there, Rod. He's been a constant threat, hasn't he? Just his pace, direct running, and he got the wrong side there. The centre half, just his first touch let him down.
Smith. Steen. Southall for the throw. Gillingham now can be only seconds away from a crucial victory. Unless there's one last twist here. Fletcher looking to get on the end of house ball. Butters gets it away. It's a Gillingham man first to it. It's Paul Smith. Here's Hughes. Back in towards Fletcher.
Last claims for handball there, I believe. Bournemouth fans' arms are right up in the air. Referee having none of it.
Was that a final check on the watch? Cox lumps it back in towards Fletcher.
Yeah, the referee's had a busy night, hasn't he? He's the wrong side, he can't see this. He screams of a penalty, and that's why.
Well, Andy Hall calls time on it, and Gillingham climb above Bournemouth in the battle for promotion. A hard-earned win for Tony Pulis, who's congratulated by his chairman Paul Scally, because it was his substitution, his double substitution, that changed the course of this contest. Gillingham were trailing in the first half to a header from Bournemouth Steve Robinson at a time when it seemed they wouldn't get past Ian Cox and Eddie Howe. But Andy Hessenthaler changed all that with a rocket of a shot deflected by Krista Warren past his own goalkeeper. And then in stoppage time, Lisby connected with a neat little ball from the other substitute, John Hodge, to earn Gillingham the points that take them above Bournemouth in the playoff area. It was all so different in the first half when Young's ball was brilliantly diverted in by Robinson for his 16th of the season. But then in the second period, Taylor's ball back, latched onto by Hessenthaler, and a great drive and unlucky deflection for Ovendale, who had a good night in goal for Bournemouth, but that was then beaten for a second time when Lisby diverted Hodges' neat pass beyond him. Make no mistake, this is a big, big win for Gillingham, who now have just 2 home matches remaining against Manchester City and against Stoke here, but they've certainly put themselves in good heart for the remainder of their programme. And Andy Hessenthaler playing a captain's part in a fine win. Gillingham 2, Bournemouth 1.
A big day of cup football coming up for you on Sunday at midday on Sky Sports 2, the FA Cup semi-final between Manchester United and Arsenal. And at 5:30 on Sky Sports 1, the Scottish Cup semi-final between St Johnstone and Rangers. A huge cup double coming up for you on Sunday here on Sky Sports. Right here, Gillingham have earned 3 priceless points at the expense of Bournemouth. The thoughts of Ray and Nigel, and comment from both teams coming up right after this break. Welcome back. Gillingham the winners by 2 goals to 1. These the facts of the match. Well, they fairly dominated, didn't it? According to the computer, at least. Plenty of fouls, what you call a hard-fought encounter. Gillingham winning on bookings, 7 in total, 45 fouls altogether. These are the action areas. In the first half, Gillingham shaded it. And in the second half, they went out and won it. OK, the match winner, Kevin Lisby, is with Alan Bentley.
Kevin, it's carnival time out there. What a turnaround in that game.
Well, it was a game, wasn't it? The lads worked hard throughout the game, and I just done what I had to do when I came on.
I suppose it says a lot about the team spirit here, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, the lads definitely want to go up, and I think we've got a good chance of doing it, and proved it today.
And how are you enjoying your time here on loan from Charlton?
Well, I'm enjoying it. The lads are terrific, and I'm getting games, and that's what I came here for. I'm glad.
Yeah, because at Charlton, 49 appearances, 44 of them as subs, sub again tonight. Do you worry that you might be cast as a super sub?
Well, I hope not, but I proved today that I can do it, you know what I mean? I've done it before, and I hope that I'm not going to get that name at all.
Well, it's your 4th this season. Well done.
All right, cheers. Thanks.
Well done.
Well done indeed. Ray Wilkins and Nigel Spackman have been royally entertained by that one. Ray, we said at half-time that it looks as though Bournemouth needed to capitalise on their advantage.
They did, and I thought it was going to be difficult for them in the second half because physically Gillingham are a very, very big side. And consequently, when you're put under a lot of pressure and the corner kick count keeps going up, you're put under immense pressure physically from them. And I just thought they overpowered Bournemouth just a touch in the second half.
Is that an indictment, Nigel, of the second division, in that a powerful side is going to win over one that perhaps performs with a little more grace, a little more skill?
Well, it's getting the balance right in your team in that division, really. You've got some who play good football, you get some who knock it long and battle hard, and that's what Gillingham did to Bournemouth tonight, really. They were strong and physical, and they worked very, very hard, as I said, at half-time. And Bournemouth matched them, but not quite to the end, and that's why they lost the game.
OK, Alan Bent is a busy man tonight. Here's with the Gillingham manager, Tony Pulis.
Tony, if ever there was a game that exemplified, if I can say it, you'll never say die attitude, that was it.
Yeah, terrific. We were just off the pace a little bit first half, and I thought we allowed Bournemouth to play in their little holes and their little areas. They got the goal at a nice time as well, which settled them down and didn't settle us down. Made a few little changes second half, and I've just told the players at half-time, just let's keep playing and keep believing. And, you know, they're a good bunch of lads.
I was going to say, as a manager, do you claim credit for the substitutions?
No, not at all. I think that the players win your games. You know, the manager can tinker a little bit, but it's still the players doing the job. And I've got good players who are prepared to work hard. And overall, you know, with the chances we created second half, I don't think Bournemouth got any complaints at all.
With one eye on possible suspensions and the like, were you at all concerned about the bookings count there?
Yeah, I really don't want to get involved with referees or talking about them. You know, I've been banished once, and I don't fancy it again.
All right, well, generally then, psychologically, does that give you an edge going into the next couple of games?
No, not at all. It's just 3 points. We played tonight for 3 points, and, you know, we've got 3 points. We've got a very difficult run-in, most probably the most difficult out of all the teams up there. But they've just got to keep showing what they showed second half, and if they do that, if we get in there, smashing. If we don't, then, you know, at least we've had a good go.
Well done. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, Tony Pulis doesn't want to talk about fouls and referees. Maybe he can't, but we can. There were a few bookings. There were 7 altogether, most of them to Gillingham. It was a physical encounter.
It was a physical encounter, but that's what you expect at this level, and there's a lot at stake. Not very pleasant challenges, it has to be said. That ball was long gone. That ball was long gone. And this one was Bruce Lee-ish. And really that shouldn't be seen on a football field, unfortunately. That one could have broke Ian Cox's leg. You know, I'm all for teams, Matt, being aggressive in the way they play, because that's the way the game is played, with a lot of aggression and being competitive. But some of those challenges were just a little bit too strong, in my opinion.
Would it be too cynical, Nigel, to say that that sort of approach wins you matches?
We shall see in the end, but I mean, they were physical because Bournemouth are a better footballer inside, but you've got to match them, and that's what Gillingham did. They matched them, but the referee's in charge. If he wants to send people off, book them, then it's down to him. We're sitting here and we've got a good view, most probably a better view than referee in a lot of the cases, but maybe a couple might have gone off tonight with a different referee.
I know you went for a draw, but you must have been optimistic about your side's chances, your old side's chances.
Yeah, I thought they started very well. Got the early goal, which settled them down, as Tony Pulis said, and looked like they could go on in the first half and maybe score a second. But second half, Gillingham rolled their sleeves up and got stuck back into them and went on to win it. And I think the substitution, Kevin Nisbey coming on and scoring that late goal, maybe Gillingham just shaded it. But a great start for Bournemouth. And I thought they played some wonderful football all night. They looked at good football inside. Plenty of youngsters who can go on to big and greater things, hopefully.
Despite the flair they showed Bournemouth, if you look at the match facts, Ray, they have more chances, Gillingham.
Yeah, they will do, because they're slightly more direct. When Bournemouth play, they have to manipulate an opening. But Bournemouth like to get Gillingham like to get the ball wide and get it slung in the box for Big Bob and Asaba to have a go at. And consequently, especially in the second half, they really did lay into Bournemouth as far as getting the ball into the box and competing for balls all over the field. That one we thought might have been a penalty kick. Arms all over Steve Fletcher there, but the referee let it go. But that's, you know, as Nigel quite rightly stated, it's very difficult for referees. And I thought he didn't do bad tonight. As I've seen people sent off for a lot worse than what we've seen tonight, and I thought he did okay.
It's a physical game. We want it to be a physical game. We don't want it to be a non-contact game. But there's you know, challenges which are legal and there's challenges which aren't. But you know, Gillingham have won tonight and they played well in the second half.
I thought they got a little bit of luck here. I thought this was handball when Hasenthaler scores off a deflection. I thought Bob just dragged that round with his left arm and controlled that with his left arm. But they got away with it, and I think for the grit and determination they showed, it merited them getting back into the game.
That man appeared to be everywhere, didn't he?
Sorry?
Robert Taylor appeared to be everywhere.
He worked very hard, didn't he? It wasn't one of Carlos Saba's best games this evening, so Bob obviously had to take on the mantle of being the leader of the line, and he did that exceptionally well. This young man showed some pace when he came on, didn't he?
He did. He did very well, Kevin Lisbon. Bob Taylor had a few good chances, and he looks like he's not in goal scoring form. That's 6 games without a goal for him, which is a rarity. But Bournemouth battled very well second half. They got some good blocks in. You know, never say die attitude, but just at the finish, Gillingham were just a little bit too strong for them.
It was a good goal as well. It was a great ball from Taylor down the line. I don't really know what Ovendale was doing coming for that cross in actual fact, because there's no one breaking through the middle of the box, as we can see there. There's only a player on the far post. If he stays on his line, I think that would have gone straight into his arm. We'll see it once again here. Eddie Howe would actually have cut that ball out had it gone across the face of the goal. I thought the goalkeeper was just a little bit too eager getting off his line.
Very happy Gillingham chairman there with Tony through this. OK, the bottom of the table, unaffected by tonight's results, although there are some games tomorrow that will change all that around. Northampton take on Luton, Wickham are at Wrexham, and Burnley go to Oldham. And of course the top very much affected by tonight's 2-1 win for Gillingham, and they move above Bournemouth. They're in 4th place. And what do you reckon, Ray? Capable of winning automatic promotion?
They've certainly got that spirit there that you need when it comes to the crunch, and they really are very, very competitive side. So they've got every chance, Matt, yeah, every chance. Obviously played a couple of games more than a few of the sides, one more than Preston, as we can see there. But if they keep competing as they showed tonight, then they must have a chance.
Some big games coming up for them as well. Fulham away, Man City at home. And obviously Walsall have got games in hand. They've got to go to Bournemouth during the week. So it's all to play for still. Very, very open. But I think at the moment you'd have to say that Fulham are streets ahead, and Walsall look favourites for that second spot.
It's all ifs and buts, Matt, but look at 7th place there, Wigan. 3 games behind Manchester City, 9 points to play for, could actually leapfrog Manchester City.
That's why I called it a horse race, and it's no nearer being reaching a conclusion, is it, tonight? One other game tonight in Division 3. It finished Swansea 1, Shrewsbury 1. Swansea stay 8th and Shrewsbury stay 15th. Well, coming up on Sky Sports on Sunday, Manchester United versus Arsenal. It's at noon. It's on Sky Sports 2, exclusively live from Villa Park. Don't miss it. And the Scottish Cup semi-final is also live from Celtic Park. It's St Johnstone versus Rangers. That one starts at 5:30. And on Monday next, Leeds versus Liverpool, Monday Night Football. And on Tuesday, our next offering is Bury versus Sunderland. My thanks go to Ray and to Nigel. See you again very, very soon. In the meantime, the cherries proved ripe for the picking. That's all for now. See you next time.